like that is unanimously approved. Financial report.
Do y'all have any questions? We're at 42% of the budget. Our revenue is at 48%. During the month of November, we received fire insurance rebates of $27,688. Our miscellaneous income shows 149%. We budgeted $30,000, we received $44,000. That includes $33,000 that we received after the construction of the USDA Community Center account. There was $33,000 left over. And we produced invoices and canceled checks to show that we had spent at least that much money from the purchase of the building, the purchase of the parking lot, and other things, repairs to the roof. And so they reimbursed us, and we put that into just miscellaneous income because it wasn't really a grant, because it's part of the loan, we're paying it back, and it was just extra money. We either lose it or give it back to them or keep it, so we kept it. So that's included in miscellaneous income. Our expenses, just total general fund expenses, operating expenses are $44,000. When you add back the capital outlay, it's 51%. Not 51,000, 51%. Most of the capital outlay projects we'll receive grants from. There's $191,000 in the airport, and they owe us about $130,000 or $40,000 that will be reimbursed on that grant. Utility system fund, revenue's 40%, expenses are 39%, which that includes the capital outlay. So it looks pretty good. If y'all have any questions?
I got a question.
What is that?
First of all, this question is in reference to the administrative funds on fees of funds. In reference to Mr. Ronald Lewis, where we stand on him now? This month he should have had everything taken care of. It was a responsibility on the old thing. Where are we?
He's no longer with us.
He's no longer with us, but what about pursuing the funds that he owes us? Have we made any efforts to do so?
We haven't at this time. We'll look into that.
How much does he owe us?
I'd have to check. $50,000 for.
So this was the month that that it was stipulated for him to have this thing taken care of, and he told the council, and he told the committee, the finance committee, that he would have this done. And regardless if he's with us or not, we still expected payment, compensation, because we know who this money belongs to. So we need to pursue it one way or the other. Council, what would be if they?
Well, you certainly could file a lawsuit against him for how much he owes, and probably seek a judgment. And then, in the future, down the way, you can garnish his wages. He'll be a debtor of the town.
Then, in order to show the people something that we, if they ask us.
And you may want to.
We have to, we can't just sit on it.
Don't, and I'm not disagreeing with you. A lot of times people leave out ordinance for water bills, ordinance for this, ordinance for that. It's a determination you have to make. Is it worth the money? So you're going to spend a few $100 getting a judgment against it. And again, I'm not saying not do it.
Then when the people look at us and say, well, look, y'all not doing it.
Yeah,
But at least
and that would be,
judgment. Say,
this is
what we got in place.
Maybe what we need to do is see just exactly how much Ron owes,
Right.
and then make a determination as to what y'all want to do.
I don't think we can just look at right off people's money.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. It's like a lot of things, we worked that deal with Ron trying to, think he was working for the town to help him, but I put him in a bind, but he's no longer with us. He quit. And, he does owe us the money. And I would think Ron probably would not fight a lawsuit if we file one against it. Now, collecting it is another thing.
But like I say,
All you get is a judgment. Yeah. And that's a decision you have to make, and mayor has to make to pursue it. And I'll do whatever y'all want me to do on that.
Motion to accept the financial report as
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Alright.
All pick that motion. Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Mahoney, you have something you'd like to bring before?
Yeah, we will, Mayor. Our community center revenue expenses are a little short, and, I'd like to make a recommendation that we look at our guidelines of how we operate this. Senate, I've talked to our attorney, and he said he'd be willing to sit down and talk to a committee and, try to get us a set of rules and regulations to abide by and try to work and get this running a little better than what we're running.
Did Alice, did we get a list of our rules and regulations? I know I'm on the committee, Rex is on the committee, a couple other people. We have a set of rules, Richard, and she fine-tuned them, and we're supposed to give everybody a copy of it. And I don't know if y'all got them or not, but I would like y'all to look them over. And then, yeah, let's get each council member. And then, oh, yeah, it's just how they're doing the community, or how the committee came up with the,
We also, I want to make a recommendation, we also, when we, rent out the community center, that we have orders in place, we make a copy of that ordinance, and they sign off on that, and, I don't think our community center is being operated in the proper manner. That's something that we need to tend to. But it looks right here, that we're already $5,720 in the hole. It's not being operated, maintained properly.
Looks like the lights are more than the rest.
Richard, Rex is on that committee, and I think, who else on that committee, Mayor?
Alex.
And my basic position was just to look at the rules, basically regulation, serving alcohol beverages, that kind of stuff, and probably would pay if we had one more on there with Rex and I from the council, and maybe review it. Richard, would you want to be on there with us?
I don't mind being on.
Okay, would that be okay with you, Mayor, if Richard was on there?
Be fine.
And then Rex, and then we meet, and
We got a problem, we gotta get resolved.
well, and I think now's the time to do it,
Right.
Richard, because we, you know.
We've operated a little bit and it seems
And
it's
we
not
see
working
what
on,
we're doing.
it's not working on the protocol that we set it up on.
And and would you serve with us?
Yep.
How do you have your meetings, Mr. Singer? Are they gonna have them like monthly,
You talking about meetings?
yeah, the committee to
Uh,
decide?
Just as soon as everybody wants to meet. We, one day Rex is in and we'll get with Richard and whoever else the mayor wants on, and maybe the mayor can meet with us too and go over everything. I think the community center shouldn't be to make money, but it
You
should
know,
lose
like,
money.
and that, can't keep losing that kind of money at the rate we're going, something's not working right.
And I, as a committee member, I'm agreeing with you. And I'm sure Rex is too. They need to turn it around, make it,
Well, like I said, we don't want it to make a profit, but yet we want it to break even.
yeah,
And
but be used by the
maintained,
people.
And used by people maintained.
And I think people are using it, Richard, it's just, it's just something that rules are, you throw them out, and then if you need to change them, you change them, whatever you need to do. And I'm sure everybody was concerned about the episode that happened, and as soon as the mayor found out about it and checked with the committee, he put a stop to that. And it's not to be used like that either. Anyway.
You wish you would follow suit.
Mr. Dumas, you have something? Mr. McCarthy? Mr. Gill?
One tidbit, last month there was a passage of an ordinance dealing with signs on municipal property, which would include the 4 signs that Mr. Scott was speaking about. Although those signs were in the process of being done, I'm not sure if any action needs to be taken as far as ratifying or, I'm looking at council when I ask that. Since that ordinance went into effect immediately, and those signs were placed on municipal property after the ordinance was in place, do we need to do something about those 4 signs? And I'm speaking, of course, the mayor office, 2 police office signs, and then the arrow sign that's by those buildings.
Craig, I would think those were grandfathered in the mill, because this started back in April.
Okay.
And we had a contract with Hillary and, but I think in the future, the sign ordinance, again, I think the purpose of it was to be sure people just didn't put signs up without getting
Right.
council approval and the mayor's approval.
Right.
And I don't think we need any ratification other than the fact the mayor and I talked about it. It was, those things were already ordered,
Okay.
agreed to.
I just wanted some clarification on those particular ones. That's all.
And again, I think in the future, anything as far as signs, just like that cold advertising sign, those things should come forward.
Sure.
Temporary
In my opinion,
things the
any
mayor
signs-
should agree to, that.
Any signs good, and especially signs that have dollars involved. It's going to cost you some money to, those 2. Anyway, that's all. I need clarification. Thank you. That's all, Mayor.
That's it.
I moved with adjourn.
Second.